Hello, friends. Welcome back. This is Amy, and with me today is a special guest collaborator. Meet Rebecca.
Hello, hello. I'm so excited to be here.
This is going to be a fun episode.
Yes, it is.
We're making a special announcement today, introducing the Forest Friends. So for those who are tuning in for the regular weekly Standing Pines Resort update, hang with us. We will do a short construction update at the end of this video. But first, we kind of wanted to talk a little bit about some of the stories and characters that have been created for the guests who will come visit at Standing Pines Resort, and some of the fun little surprises that we're creating for you and your family when you come and visit. So first, I did want to pause and introduce Rebecca and ask her to talk just a little bit about herself and how she got roped into this project.
Yep, so I'm Rebecca, now Powell. I moved into the area and then now married into the area, and so I'm a full-time watercolor artist under the name Southern Inspirations, which some of the locals might know about. And about, I want to say 8 months ago, I got an email saying I heard from someone else that you are the girl to go to locally for some illustrations, and got coffee and hit it off, and the rest is history. So it's been a really fun pleasure to like the characters. Amy did a great job of writing all the stories and writing the background for these characters, but then bringing them to life has been a really special experience. So yeah, it's been fun.
And shout out to Laura at the venue at Laura's Farm for the introduction. Yeah. Thanks, Laura.
Yes, thank you, Laura.
So today we are going to roll out the Forest Friends Adventure Series and talk just a little bit about some of these characters. I'll ask Rebecca to chime in, but kind of what I wanted to share with everybody is these stories start with some walks my daughter and I were doing in the forest before we started the campground. We would walk our dogs and say, well, I wonder what the animals who live here think about the campground coming, and start making up stories, kind of what we thought the animals might be thinking about or saying. And before I knew it, we actually had enough stories that I felt maybe we could share these with others. And then there was an incident when we got back home. Our family cat was stretched out napping in a little sunny spot, and he woke up all kinds of mad. Now, I don't know if you have cats or if you've ever seen a mad cat, but this cat was mad. And that's when the inspiration for this story, which will start the series. So the Forest Friends are Rascal Raccoon, Blaze Bobcat, and the rest of the friends that live around the Standing Pines campground.
They've go from an actual realistic animal to create these more whimsical illustrations and doing research on how do those animals move and how do they react, and then how we want to portray that has been a really fun adventure. As someone who is also the building process out there, not too far from where the campground's going to be, it's really fun to paint pine trees and paint the critters. They're also basically in my own backyard. It's really special.
You know, Rebecca, that's a really good point. All of these creatures, all of our forest friends, are actually local to this area.
Yeah. So,
I feel like we should do a big dance or a reveal or something.
Yeah, there should be drums or something. It's that it's happened. It's been a process. I'm not sure how long it took to write it before we started working on it, but I know that I came on, I think, end of September, October, and we're here, April 1st. It's out there.
It's not an April Fool's joke.
It's not an April Fool's joke. Big step, big things.
This is super exciting. So we actually uploaded it last week, and according to Kindle, it goes live today. So I did not actually check the link again right before the presentation. When I checked earlier, it was still under review, scheduled to go live today. So as we are pre-recording this, it should be live when you see it. But it is super exciting to announce that Rascal Takes Responsibility, which is the first illustrated storybook for the Forest Friends, should be widely available when you see this video. Available on Amazon in its digital form. We are still kind of working on the paperback and hardback forms, wanting to make sure that. Okay, so we're both perfectionists. We just want them to be right.
Yeah. The perfectionist in us has been our kryptonite, but everyone else will get to reap the rewards of it with as close to perfection as we can get in the book. So it's going to be great.
So these are really just the cutest drawings. I love flipping through and looking at what Rebecca's put together. I can't wait to see some of the additional work. And it's it's a cute story designed for little ones, right? This is designed for beginning readers, probably with parents, grandparents, teachers reading with them. This would be a great go to sleep book for a little one. In fact, if it had been around when my daughter was tiny, I think this is a book that we would have read a lot. Like I probably would have had it memorized as a mom within a week. So that's kind of the age group. It does have sight words. It is very much designed to go along with the little ones as they're learning to read, and is for that age group.
Yeah, I also liked, and kudos to you, that there wasn't a lot of words per page. I know there was I was a lover of a chapter book growing up, and my mom hated reading those to me because sometimes they were lengthier, tongue twisting. I'm too tired for this. It's definitely an easy read for kids to learn from and parents that are tired at night to also enjoy reading.
True. With some fun illustrations that all but pop off the page in a couple of places. So that was super fun.
Yes.
So we did have the opportunity to have a group of early readers participate in the process and got back some fabulous suggestions and some good feedback. And also just some heartwarming messages about the kids who have already seen this, including some older kids than I thought. I know I was really kind of thinking this was for the 3 to 6 year old crowd. And at least one mom got back and said, "Hey, my 8-year-old snuck behind me and was reading behind my shoulder." And I was like, "Come on, Mom, hurry up. I want to see what happens next." So it's Rebecca, I don't know about you. We haven't talked about this, but for me, that's been the best feedback is when I hear from some of the adults that the kids have really enjoyed the story and that they want to read the next one.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I haven't gotten as much feedback. I didn't send out as many advanced reader copies as you did, but the feedback's all been positive. And then when I got to read some of the quotes that you collected for this, I was like, in my day, I'm really excited to have even more people get to enjoy it.
Me too. And I'm super hoping that some of our early readers and others who might see this video and decide to give it a try are kind enough to leave some reviews on Amazon. That drives so much of the success of new books. So if you like kind of what we're doing, creating these imaginary creatures with engaging stories, beautiful art, please, give it a like. And if you could leave a review or a rating on Amazon, can't tell you how helpful that would be.
Yes. And also just share this video when you're done watching it with friends and family, and subscribe to the YouTube page so that you can keep following along with what they're doing too.
Yes. Let's share the story. It's too fun to keep to ourselves.
Fun. Yep.
So a little bit about the two of us. As those watching this channel from the Standing Pines Resort side will know, my husband and I are currently building Standing Pines Resort near Hartsville, South Carolina. And I'll talk a little bit about that at the end of the video. But before Standing Pines and before the Forest Friends, I had a regular corporate job and moved around a lot. But the thing that I really loved was family-friendly travel. I didn't realize until just now I was wearing one of my Disney shirts. Go figure. I guess it fits. So in life before, I had actually already written 3 books that were published by Theme Park Press about some of our adventures in Florida. And that was super helpful when I started taking on writing about Rascal and his friends, because I had some sense of the process But every new project is a new challenge. And as we talked about earlier, this one took a bit longer than I think either of us anticipated as we really kind of got into the meat of it. So the Forest Friends have been the joy in the last 6 months or a year. They've been the fun project. And unfortunately, on my end, that's meant that the fun project has sometimes been shelved when we're going through hey, we got to raise money. Hey, we got to get permit approved. Hey, we got to find a builder. All of the, stuff that really, unfortunately, has to come first. So that's just a little bit about me. And now I'm going to turn it to Rebecca to talk about her background.
Yes. So as Amy shared in this little slide, I started as a biochemist. I have a degree from High Point University. Everyone knows where that is in North Carolina. Went there for biochemistry, had an art minor. Always loved art and for the physical arts, painting, sculpture, things like that. And so had one of those quarter life crisis kind of moments where I decided I'm going to take a leap of faith, trust in the Lord and his talents for me, and decided to become a full-time artist. And if you see the balloons behind me, we have marked today, April 1st, is 5 years of full-time business, which I don't know how we're doing that. I swear, we were on the phone the other day talking about it, Amy and I was like, I don't know how it's been 5 years. I think the COVID years it's all a blur. But it's truly 5. The math is mathing. It has been 5 years. And so I just get to enjoy creating custom pieces and working on projects like this one. This is the first book, which is just a whole different experience. And it's a different type of joy you get out of a project like this. I do a lot of custom pieces, retail side of things. I have some art prints inspired by life in the South, specifically South Carolina, North Carolina prints coming up soon. And I also do a lot of work with other small businesses, creating branding materials and unique opportunities that they can get from a larger marketing standards firm when they want that little bit of whimsy. They want that watercolor style, I guess. So it's been fun.
It's a little interesting because in some ways we both came from very traditional. You were scientists. We both worked for corporate America at one point. And I don't know how you feel, but I needed the skills that I picked up from doing that to do this.
Yes, definitely. The path was like this to get to here, but definitely all like throughout that, I've grabbed different things. When I moved from biochemistry, I actually moved into biotech marketing first before I moved into full creative field. And with that, you're doing trade shows in Vienna one weekend, next weekend you're in a trade show in Savannah, and doing all of that craziness. Like, if I can conquer that, I can conquer anything logistic-wise. If I have to work with someone who doesn't speak English in Germany at midnight trying to find business cards, I think I can handle this. So yeah, definitely working in different parts. The schooling I got, even if it was in biochemistry, did help me become the business owner that I am. So I'm fortunate and blessed that that's the path, as crazy as it was, that I went on.
That reminds me, there's another shout out I probably should give to Black Creek Wildlife Rescue. In this process, I had the opportunity to go and visit with them one day and see the live animals, some of whom are featured in the book. And it was, they do really great work. If anyone's looking for a cause to support, really would encourage you to give them a look. I'll try and remember to include a link, not just to both of our pages and what we're doing, but also to the venue at Laura's Farm as a thank you to her and to Black Creek Wildlife Rescue, just for those who are interested in the other kind of causes and things going on in the community that we mutually care about.
Yes, and they do a great job at educating the community as well. I've been blessed, but also scared because they've had their tent next to me at the farmers market sometimes in downtown Hartsville, and they bring snakes to show kids and things about. They're not the venomous ones, but they still terrify me. But they always bring animals in to talk about their foundation and to also educate the kids. So I love what Black Creek is being able to do. So, yeah, they're great.
You're brave. Yeah, the first time I had to deal like with a reptile that was part of an exhibition, I just hung in the way back of the audience.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
tried.
things may change. There are no plans to have a snake in the Forest Friend series.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I like that idea. Yeah, I don't want to paint them preferably. I could make a pretty one. I could make it pretty, but
Make it beautiful.
I think that preferably not.
Agreed. Oh, with that one. I actually would like to switch if you're okay with me sharing that video you shared earlier. Is that all right?
Yeah, sounds good. So this is just a little clip. This took hours and hours to paint. So imagine this is in real time, the 30 seconds of painting. Rascal is actually the icon for the cover and a couple other ones. So when creating the characters, I painted them all individually so that we can work with them, manipulate them as needed on the backgrounds. And I actually did pull out. So each background is hand painted. So when we say these are hand painted watercolor illustrations, everything comes from paper, which is not seen these days. Even the watercolor things are usually done on an iPad. I loved the old-fashioned look, and everything's been scanned in. Backgrounds are fixed. Things are tweaked and edited to make a cohesive story. But it was a fun process. It does take a lot of time, but there is something special about having the physical illustrations of the book.
I think it adds authenticity. There's just no other way to get.
Yeah, you can do, a lot of people do digital. Nothing wrong with digital. There's some gorgeous digital designers out there, but some of my favorite books as a kid had just gorgeous illustrations that you could tell were like hand painted, and getting to create that for someone else is an extra special part of the process.
Totally agree.
So
I wanted to do. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the concept art. How do you pronounce the name?
I'm afraid that I would mispronounce it, so I'm just going to say our original artist is in Germany.
Yes, in Germany. So when we met, Amy had already had concept artists for the maps and everything, and so we used that as the jumping off point, and she had created the characters, but I definitely have my own personal watercolor style, and so I used her to inspire how I drew them, but we always want to give credit to the original artist and the artist. And if she somehow comes across this video, we apologize. We don't know your name is in the book. We don't know how to pronounce it. We don't want to pronounce it wrong. But we appreciate it.
Yes. And I don't want to mispronounce it. No, but I will send a link to this to her, and I hope that she enjoys what we've done with her original work.
Yes. Yeah, it wouldn't have been the same without original work, because I don't know if I would have visualized some of the characters how she did to begin with. And so it definitely was a good and fun way to jump off of something else instead of going exactly from zero.
I agree. And this Building Memory series Resort is a little bit of a peek behind an insider's perspective. So this is another one in kind of that vein. You know, we don't just kind of start with okay, here's the finished story and here's the gorgeous, wonderful final art. There's a lot of steps in the process. And so at one point, this literally was kind of taking some images from the original concept artist and putting them together and thinking about these different characters. So in Rascal Takes Responsibility as the first book in the series, Rascal shows up and he's that cute little raccoon. Blaze shows up. He's that sleeping bobcat, and a couple of the other characters. But there are some other characters that we'll get to explore a little bit more in future stories, because this is not a one and done. This is just the start of the adventure.
Yeah, we're already going to start on 2, hopefully soon.
Very much so. This was, I think, just like one of those creative flashes that came one time when we were talking. For both of us, I think we get a lot of energy from the feedback that kids are enjoying these stories. Like that's that's deeply meaningful for us. And so we thought,
Mm-hmm.
well, wouldn't it be cool if we gave kids a way to actually write in and get a response from their forest friends? So we included a way to do that in the book, making this an interactive, not just reading, but writing experience. So if the kids who read the book, or their parents, I guess, want to, they can send in, a hello to their friends, a piece of art, whatever they really want to send back. And in return, they'll get a little surprise. And one of the things that we're kind of thinking about for that surprise is something like a custom trading card. And you can see an early version of this here for Blaze that's got some of the original art that Rebecca's created. It's got the character and just a little blurb about the character. So we are still kind of working our way through this, and the first kids who write in might get some early samples. But that's the interactive opportunity here that I think will be a really cool ad. That, I just don't see this in many kids' books.
Yeah, and it's also great is at the end we also added in, as we were getting feedback, was a page about the animals themselves with like a little fun fact about beavers and raccoons and things of that nature, to bring back a little bit of an educational nature segment on a page. So like what they're not about Blaze, but about bobcats. So I like that as well. That was from feedback too.
So a lot of our early readers were actually early childhood educators, teachers. And let's see, I don't want to give the whole story away, but essentially, Rascal the raccoon is a mischievous little raccoon. He gets in a little bit of trouble. He goes a little too far. And with some help from his friends, he learns how to take responsibility for what he's done and make amends. And the very consistent feedback I think that we've gotten from every librarian or guidance counselor or teacher is that these kind of life lessons disguised as a fun story is right on for early readers, like kindergarten, first, second, maybe even third grade. So we are hopeful that some of our local schools will have some interest in this, and maybe some others, because, that's kind of who we are as humans. Sometimes we make mistakes, and sometimes it's all about learning how to deal with those.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think maybe we talked to this earlier in our excitement, but 100%, you can tell from just kind of how jazzed I think both of us are about this. We really want this story to have the opportunity to touch kids. That's what it's all about. And so if you could help us grow the audience, like this, share this, comment, forward it, visit the website. We'll have links to all the social media there. If we grow the Facebook page, grow the YouTube, that's great. The other thing that would be super helpful, and I'm kind of speaking out of turn on this, so hopefully I'm not about to get myself in trouble, but if you really enjoy this content, if you really like the behind the scenes, the back and forth between the two of us on the creative process, let us know. There's a possibility we might be willing to do a little more.
You're not speaking out of turn. We can definitely do some more, maybe throughout the process of the next book. Maybe it's a built with the crowd type book or something. If people are interested in that, sounds fun.
That would be really cool, actually, as we get cranked up on the second book and there's interest and people say they want it. Maybe we do one midway to, the story so far, if you will.
Yeah, like a need to end the newer characters that aren't really featured and things like that. That could be a lot of fun. Let us know. Leave a comment.
Oh no, this is fun, and I'm gonna. I really want you to do most of the talking for this one, if you would.
Okay. So part of the Southern inspiration side of my business, I do a lot of murals. I do a couple a year. When I say a lot, they are labor intensive, so I usually do a couple a year. But another thing that Amy, we had our first meeting was so much fun. We're talking about the book. We're talking about this. We're talking about that. All the things. But the main one was it's on the main building, correct? It's like the reception, like where you would go if you're like checking in, and also the little gift shop. Like it's the main building. On the side, we're going to do a mural, and the mural will have a Forest Friends inspired trees and hopefully some panels on it that maybe look like books. It's gonna be a touch of whimsy and bringing these characters to life in the real world, I guess. I'm real excited to see how it ends up. I know that it's gonna be a forest background and then some three-dimensional platform, like panel thing to make it pop and be different. Like story is life size. I think it's really cool. A great photo opportunity as we come to visit the campsite and do things. If you're there for a birthday party, to go to the pool or something, you can take pictures in front of it. It's going to be a fun addition to everything else. The whole campground is going to be so cool. I can't wait. It's just so fun to watch it come together. But I'm so excited to be part of not just the book, but that actual entity too.
I think that's going to be kind of another one of those just unique things to what we're doing, because these are not just, stories in a storybook. Come and visit them. We're going to integrate these characters into so much of Standing Pines Resort. And you're 100% right. The mural wall for the Welcome Center, I think, is just going to help draw people in. If we've measured the heights and the distances correctly, I actually think that this mural wall is going to be completely visible from Bethlehem Road. So as random public is driving by, you'll see some of this fabulous art. And it would not surprise me if someone in the car goes, "What's that?"
Yes. Yeah. I think it's going to add a little pizzazz to it too. It's going to be fun.
I think it's going to be fun. So again, I just want to stop and say thank you, not just for doing this video, but for the art and the whole process. It's been fabulous to work with you. Such a fun, collaborative process. And I can't wait to do 9, 10, 12, 20 more books with you.
Oh, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's been a really rewarding challenge. And I'm just grateful that Laura said, "Oh, I know this girl," and that we got connected last year. It's been a great time. It's been a wild ride so far, and I can't wait now that the book is out that we were. So thank you.
So I did want to close out just a little bit today with a bit of an update. And Rebecca, I don't even know if I've shared some of this with you, so it may be brand new. But Discover Memories Together with the Forest Friends at Standing Pines Resort. We are now accepting reservations. October 15th kicks off our soft open. So that's when we're done enough to be open, but maybe not all our amenities are done. The pool might not be completely done, that kind of thing. December 1, grand opening date. That's when we anticipate, having hired the staff, having things really ready to go for the public. So those who stay with us a little early may also have an opportunity to influence some of those final details. What is Standing Pines Resort exactly? So if this is your first time tuning in for the Forest Friends, this is a new upscale camping resort near Hartsville, South Carolina. We're opening December 1 with 109 different kind of campsites. And so we were talking about the original concept artist earlier. She put this map together that kind of established, this was the first piece of art for the entire project. And it kind of established this fun, whimsical, almost fairy tale-ish tone. And that's what we really want to carry through as we build out the resort. She did do a number of other concept art pieces that I've used to try and convey the vision, because it's very difficult to get what's in my head out to others. I am no kind of an artist. And then this is for those who are following along for a construction status update. This is kind of where we are as of last week. My husband took the drone up and did a really great picture. If you can see highlighted near the public road in the top right, there's something that says Welcome Center. So the pad is poured. They've actually started the framing, and the side of the building, or I guess the side of the foundation pad in this picture that faces the public road, that's where the mural wall will be for the Forest Friends. So that Welcome Center is coming along, and I suspect by next week's update, we may actually have it dried in. So I'm looking forward to being able to share some of those pictures. You can see this one, I think, shows better than anything else we've been able to show so far, kind of the shape of the campground. The contract crew, our construction guys, have been able to now rough in the actual final finished roads instead of the construction roads we've been using. This picture gives me, for the first time, a good sense of just how big that pond's going to actually be, and then where things are going to start laying out. Now, the funny thing about this is this picture and this construction update picture is only half of phase 1. So there's a whole lot more behind this picture that we can't quite see yet. But if there's a key message, it's even in the face of rain and weather delays and other issues over the last couple of weeks, construction is continuing, and we feel confident as a management team that we'll be ready for soft open mid-October and the grand open December 1st. So that's building memories for the weekly update. So thrilled to kind of share just, this thing we've been working on for months and months and months behind the scenes. Can't wait to get some feedback from the folks who get their copy of Rascal and let us know what you think, including, if there are things you think we could have done differently or better, share that. There's a lot more stories coming. Mm-hmm. And if you're interested, go back and catch some of the prior episodes to see what we've been working on and some future episodes. And again, I think we're both very open to feedback. So if you want to hear more about the Forest Friends, share, like, comment.
Let us know.
That's it.
Yeah.
So Rebecca, again, I thank you. I appreciate you making the time to do this. Closing comments for me is really just appreciate the opportunity to do this fabulous work. I can't wait to welcome our first guest. I cannot wait to read Rascal live in person to our first guest at Camp Standing Pines. It's going to be awesome.
Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait until we be able to announce when the physical copies are done. And I really can't wait till we get that link. And hopefully a couple of hours I can purchase the e-copy myself. I'm just so excited, and thank you for this opportunity and to get to be a guest today.
Thank you so much. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next week. Have a great one.